This love is for Tom Lee Park. So let's park our love. Let's mark our love. Here folks run, walk, march for love, exchange vows as they embark on love, carve their names in the bark with a heart to signify their love. Here in Tom Lee Park, families reunion while they cha-cha slide. Little ones put on helmets and knee pads as they learn to bike ride. Babies take first steps. Athletes train as they get in their reps. The kids run and play till they run out of breath. Adults come here to take a deep breath. To think, meditate. Tom Lee Park lets you breathe. We cool off under a blanket of leaves. Wisdom is whispered through the breath of the trees. We're soothed by the winds of a filtered breeze. Here we preserve peace. This is a sacred place. But the question is, how did we get here? You see, heroes aren't born every day. It takes a certain individual to find a certain level of bravery. What would you do if you found yourself in a bad place at the right time? A time where fate meets circumstance, when the choices you make and the extinction of a life do a very delicate dance against all odds. Imagine holding someone's life in your hand. That precious moment when it could all be over. Over on the Mississippi. May 8, 1925, 72 passengers left Memphis to take a steamboat ride. Later that day, the vicious power of the river's current caused that boat to capsize. 72 lives were at stake. Meanwhile, a man named Tom Lee happened to be at work that day. He captained his little riverboat called the Zev. He was a black man living in the South, so he knew he needed to be pushing ahead, which is what he did until he saw trouble in the water. In a moment's notice, off he sped to help those who were troubled in the water, those children, those mothers, those fathers who happened to be all white, but Tom Lee saw life. Although he couldn't swim, Tom Lee did what was right. Like a knight, he charged in to those who were helplessly draped in the cold, muddy, merciless bath. Many who couldn't fight the river's wrath. Panic and weariness caused some to sink, while others tried using the debris from the boat as a raft as they desperately gasped for air. Hands stretched out from the water as they desperately tried to grasp the air. But one by one, Tom Lee appeared as he brought comfort to their fear. Back and forth, he went from the shore to the river. After one boat load was delivered, he rushed back in to battle the pull of the river. He pulled, she pulled, he pulled, she pulled. For some time, this tug of war raged on. But because of his bravery, his heroics, his willingness to risk his own life, 32 lives made it on to Tom Lee's little riverboat. When the steamer failed them, he kept 32 lives afloat. He gave 32 lives hope, relief. He gave them all a second chance. He gave them all a second chance. Against all odds and barriers, he held their lives in his hand. The legend of that day quickly swept across the land. The selfless act of this black man. Brave deeds that caused President Coolidge to call him a real hero. Tom Lee is a real hero who did the impossible while living in impossible times. Tom Lee is a real Memphis hero who will be remembered throughout time. Remembered every time we visit. Remember this park. Every time we visit this park, a park that breathes life into the community like the love that pours from Tom Lee's precious heart.